A few months ago, probably many times, since many of us has experienced a moment that felt strangely familiar. Sitting alone, staring at a phone, not scrolling, but not replying to messages, not even sure what we were looking for, but searching. Searching for words that we couldn't say out loud, searching for reassurance, searching for something that made sense how we were feeling. Typing questions like, why do I feel stuck? Why does everything feel heavy? Why am I tired when I haven't done enough? And within seconds, technology responded. Articles appeared explaining emotions in bullet points. Videos played promising clarity in under 5 minutes. Quotes offered motivation, perfectly framed and easy to share. The answers were quick. The responses were intelligent. The system worked exactly as designed. Yet, the feeling remained. Because what people needed at that moment wasn't more information. It wasn't advice. It wasn't a productivity tips. What they needed was human understanding. And that realization opens a much bigger conversation. Hello everyone, I'm Raafiya Sultana, a pre-final year student pursuing bachelor's degree in computer science and engineering. Like many students today, I live closely with technology. It's a part of how I learn, how I communicate, how I imagine the future. I observe technology doesn't just shape our decisions, it quietly guides us. But beyond classrooms, assignments, and screens, I have realized something important. The moments we remember are not the fastest moments. They are the most human ones. They are the moments of human understanding. And that realization has led me the idea I want to share with you today. Why empathy will always beat algorithms. We live in a world that celebrates intelligence. Our phone finishes our sentence before we do. Apps recommend what to watch next. Algorithm decide which news reaches us and which story quietly disappear. They influence our opinion. They shape our preferences. They decide what trends, what sells, and what stays invisible. Technology no longer waits for instruction. It predicts, it nudges, it decides. And most of the time, we don't even notice that the progress is powerful. It is impressive. It also makes us ask uncomfortable questions like, are we building a smarter future or a more distant one? A future where everything is sufficient, but something is missing. Let's be honest, algorithms are extraordinary. They analyze patterns faster than any human ever could. They process massive amounts of data within seconds. It helps us navigate cities. They help doctors detect disease early. They help business grow and systems scale. They are powerful tools, but still they are tools. And every tool has a boundary. Algorithms do not experience life. They can recognize sadness in our words, but they don't know what it feels like to sit with disappointment at night. They can predict our behavior, but they don't know our intention. They can suggest solution, but they don't know when silence is comforting more than advice. They can imitate care, but they cannot care. And that difference between imitation and intention matters more than we often realize. Let me share a small story with you. A student receives a rejection message after giving the absolute best. They read it once, then again, then they stare at screen. Almost immediately, technology steps in. Auto-generated emails arrive, motivational posts appear on social media. Videos suggest how to improve, move on, or stay productive. Everything works exactly as designed. Everything is optimized. Everything is sufficient. But none of it changes the moment how we feel. What truly changes the moment isn't a notification, it's a human presence. It's not to explain the problem, just not to fix a problem, just to say, someone who sits beside them, not to say, it's okay to feel disappointment. You are not alone. No algorithm can calculate that weight sentence lifted. Because empathy doesn't erase pain. It simply reminds us that pain does not need to be carried alone. As we talk about ethical technology, we often talk about rules, guidelines, policies, frameworks. But ethics doesn't begin with documentation. Ethics begin with how we treat people when no system forces us to care. Ethics begins with empathy. Just because we can automate something doesn't mean it should. Just because a system is fast doesn't mean it is fair. A future without empathy may function perfectly, but something feels empty. As empathy is often seen as soft, emotional. Empathy is often seen as soft, emotional, unnecessary. Empathy is not about weakness. Empathy is about awareness. It is the ability to pause before judging, to listen carefully before reacting. In a world obsessed with speed and scale, empathy slows us down, but not to stop progress, but to guide it. As technology grows more powerful, being human becomes more important, not less. Empathy becomes a responsibility to ask better questions, a responsibility to design thoughtfully, a responsibility to remember people behind the data. Because we are building a smarter future. It not just reflects our intelligence, it reflects our values. So I want to share a thought with you today. When technology advances, human advances too. When system gets smarter, let us get kinder. Because empathy does not only belongs to the most advanced machines, it belongs to the people who choose empathy, even when it's slower, even when it's harder, and even when it's inconvenient. A future still feels human. That is something no algorithm can replace. Thank you.